Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Your story is your mission. My name is Beatrice Adams. I'm a tax exempt specialist and nonprofit consultant. And on my channel, my goal is to teach as many people as I can reach how to start a nonprofit and how to become a 501c3 tax exempt organization. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'd appreciate it if you would also click the like button and leave a comment in the comment section below. In just a moment, I'll be starting with part 4, question number 16, which is where I left off in my last video, which would be the episodes. After the video, please be sure to click on the links below to gain access to the valuable resources you'll need to be approved as a nonprofit in your state and as a 501c3 tax exempt organization. I've also included a checklist which lists everything you need to have to be approved at the state and federal level. There's also a link to a provisions PDF that you will need to include with your state organizing document. So please watch episode number 2 for important tricks to incorporating the nonprofit at the state, and episode number 3 for step by step instructions on how to incorporate a nonprofit. Know that errors cost extra money when you have to amend a state document that was not properly prepared. So, again, be sure to watch episode 2 and 3 before incorporating your nonprofit if you haven't done so already. I've also included the bylaws that I use in a format that is now revisable so that you can just insert where indicated. I will tell you that because these bylaws are revisable, making it easier for you to use quickly, I've included a charge of $19.99 for that template. Before, the link provided was in a PDF format, which required more work on your part. Like you'd have to retype the whole thing. Also, keep in mind that if you are a church or a ministry, these bylaws are not applicable to you. Your bylaws will be more in depth. Again, before I start with part 4, question number 16, which will be showing you step by step how to properly complete the Form 1023 section and attachment on your nonprofit's fundraising activities, I want to introduce to you a membership platform that I've been developing called Soar Wisely. I'm so excited about being able to offer you a membership platform that will include streamlined courses on how to complete Form 1023 step by step from start to finish. In other words, as a member, you will have access to the Form 1023 course from A to Z, not trip by trip like I've had to do on my YouTube channel. Know that it's been increasingly difficult to fully instruct on such a difficult topic as how to complete the Form 1023 application and its attachments on my YouTube channel. And YouTube is a great platform, but it's a full-time job, and I had no idea it would require so much attention. So I will continue to put other vital information on my channel that will help you start, elevate, and grow your nonprofit. I hope that you will consider joining my membership platform, Soar Wisely, so that I can be more engaged with each of you regarding Form 1023 and all of its components. In addition to the Form 1023 course, the platform will include group coaching so that I can have an eyes on approach to walk those of you who may be struggling with certain parts of Form 1023 through the process. Particularly, the attachments needing to be sent up with the tax exempt application can be very difficult and involved. So the group coaching will be instrumental in helping you to accurately complete this information to secure IRS approval. By all means, you don't want to pay the $600 user fee to the IRS just to have your application declined because it wasn't completed accurately, and then lose your $600 because they will not refund you your money. If you're concerned about the cost of the Soar Wisely membership platform, don't be. This platform is being provided to you at only $49 per month, which is extremely low compared to what you'd pay to have someone complete the application for you. My price to complete the Form 1023 application for my clients is $1,995. And with other preparers, the price can cost upwards of $3,500. So I hope you will take advantage of the SOAR Wisely membership at $49 per month. And of course, you can cancel your membership at any time. With your membership, you will have continuous access to course content that will focus on training you on how to complete the Form 1023 and the attachments in its entirety, and access to a community where you can connect with others who are also on their nonprofit journey. And of course, I'll be monitoring that community as well so that I can pop in and answer any questions where you may be stuck. You'll also have access to all the attachments you need in a revisable template format, whereas at my YouTube channel, they're all in a PDF format. The estimated launch date for your Soar Wisely membership is, drumroll please, July 15th, 2024. So be sure to click the link below to get on the wait list. Now, let's go ahead and get started with the step-by-step instructions on how to complete Form 1023, question number 16, fundraising activities. See you on the screen. Okay, before we start with part 4, question number 16, in the Form 1023 application, I just wanted to show you something really quickly here. Whenever you sign back into your application that you're working on at pay.gov, and by now, if you've watched the previous videos, you should know how to sign in. I want you to see here that they've added this, which is great. Continue where you left off. Because before you'd have to go, see, that doesn't work. Like you would think you could just go click on that and get to where you want to be, but you couldn't do that. But now they've added continue where you left off, which I think is great. So we're just going to click here. And where we left off is part 4, your activities continued. And we have, of course, answered all of these questions. And we're going to go down to question number 16, and we're going to pick up there. And it states, check any of the following fundraising activities that you will undertake. Check all that apply. I check website, mail, email, personal and or phone solicitations, foundation grant solicitations, receive donations from another organization's website, government grant solicitations, and other. And see, it says describe other. And what I do is I just put some information in here that I pretty much um, already have. Bear with me just a moment. Let me just grab that. So what I do when they're asking other and it says describe other, I just have some information that I put in there and I'll just copy it. And I'm going to get into more detail in just a moment on this, but it says other. The organization will not solicit, but will accept donations of vehicles, boats, planes, or similar donations, to further its mission and increase its assets. Then I say see uploaded document. And I'm going to explain that here in just a moment. But this is how you answer this section. And I give more detail than this. I explain exactly what I mean. And again, I'm going to hop over to that form. It will be an attachment in the link below in PDF format. But I want to show you something here. You do not select bingo or other non-bingo gaming activities. Okay, and if you click on that, it will tell you that question mark, why not? But as you remember, I always say to have your instructions pulled up, and all you want to do to get to your instructions is just go to irs.gov, and then in the search field, you'll type Form 1023 instructions. Okay, and you will just search for that. And then just scroll down till you see the instructions and see what I've already done. I've already opened that up, but if you want to open that, I always open it in a new link. So I right click on that on the mouse and see open link in new tab. And I've already opened it. So we are on part 4, question number 16. So what we'll do here, see in the instructions, you see the parts. We'll just go look for part 4, your activities, and click on that number. And it takes you straight there. And we are looking for question number 16. See there, see how it numbers that? So we're looking for question number 16. We'll just keep scrolling down. And forgive me for being literal. I always am because you never know who may need extra help and assistance with finding certain things. So please, give me that grace if you don't mind, so that I can help those who may need further assistance. So we're going to go down to line 16, and here we are, fundraising, and it tells you what that includes. But we want to know why not bingo. So you go right back up here. For purposes of this application, bingo is a game of chance played with cards that generally are printed with 5 rows of 5 squares, each of which participants place markers to form a pre-selected pattern to win the game. Now most of us have played bingo. I know I have played it plenty of times. And it also tells you what other non-bingo gaming activities are, include pull tabs, raffles, so on and so forth. But look here, here's a tip as to why you do not select that. Gaming doesn't further an exempt purpose under Section 501(c)(3, except to the extent that an exception may apply. Your revenue from gaming activities will be subject to unrelated business income tax. See publication 3079 for further information about gaming. So you do not want to select that. So we're going to go back over to the application, and we're going to stop right here. And now I'm going to answer a couple of more questions, excuse me. And then I'm going to show you the attachment where I said see uploaded document, because I want to go into more detail. I want to let them know exactly what this all entails. What do you mean? Like, I want to give them as much information, the IRS, as much information as they could possibly need, or even if they don't need it, they'll have it. Again, I liken it to going into a court and you're suing somebody or you're being sued, God forbid. But if it does happen, you want to walk in there with more than enough information. All the information you don't even need, but you want to walk in there. And it's the same thing with the IRS when you're completing this form. Give them more than what they're asking for. That way they don't have to come back to you later and send you a letter in the mail and say, hey, I've got this application, but I do still have questions on your fundraising activities. Can you answer what you mean when you say you will um, accept foundation grant solicitations? What does that mean? But you're already given them that information, so you don't have to answer it, right? You already given it to them. So the next question, we will not engage in fundraising activities. That's a part of number 16. You will not be a nonprofit for long if you do not engage in fundraising activities. That includes a church, a school, ministry. I know that churches sometimes have, this thing with fundraising, but you've got to fundraise if you want to be able to help people. So definitely do not check that. Number 17, do you or will you engage in fundraising activities for other organizations? If yes, describe these arrangements, including the names or descriptions of the organizations for which you raise funds. I always answer no there. Now, if you intend to engage in fundraising activities for other organizations, by all means click yes. Just be prepared to describe these arrangements, including the names or descriptions of the organizations for which you raise funds. Just always be prepared to attach that, upload that as an attachment. But I always select no because I don't intend and none of my clients intend, you're raising funds for yourself. So we're going to click next. And we're going to stop right here at part 5, compensation and other financial arrangements. And I am going to pull up the fundraising activities form that I use, that I attach, and it's more in detail, and I will urge you to attach it. So here I am on the form that I told you I actually attach with additional information on the fundraising activities and I attach that to the Form 1023, or I upload it along with the Form 1023 application. And remember that you want to always put the name of your nonprofit and the EIN number on every single page. Remember, I say your nonprofit, but always remember you do not, nor can you, own a nonprofit. I'm just saying that just for general terms. You cannot own a nonprofit like you would a for-profit. Now, but be sure to put the name and the EIN number on every single page, back, front. It doesn't matter. Everything that goes up to the IRS, every single page. Again, even if it's a front and back page, make sure that the name of the foundation or the nonprofit organization and the EIN number is on every single page. And you'll see here, I have repeated that question that was on the Form 1023 application. It says, see below the following answers as it relates to fundraising activities to be undertaken by the organization. Form 1023, Part 4, Question 16. I do that because, say this page gets lost and they don't know what it's about. They could probably they'll figure it out, but you don't want them to work any harder to try to get you approved than they need to. Like, you want to give them more information than they could possibly need if it makes sense. And in this case, you would definitely want to tell them what they're looking at. Okay? What this page is all about, this attachment. And remember, I put the mission statement on most every attachment. Not all of them warrants a mission statement to be included on that page, but I try to include it because if the IRS is looking at my information and I am referencing the mission, I want them to be able to look right here and see the mission. Okay, the mission of Pretty Paws Foundation Inc. is to subsidize grooming and veterinary costs for inner city pet owners with limited income while educating the owner on proper animal care and nutrition to avert disease and sickness. Now, I made up that mission statement. Again, Pretty Paws Foundation is not real, but I made that up and I've included a vision statement here. And if you want to know more about how to write a mission statement that gets you funded, be sure to check out episode number 1, which is Write a Mission Statement That Gets You Funded. That's what it's called. So be sure to look at that. All right. And here we go. This is where we're going to start answering the question number 16. Accept donations on your website. Remember that form, we checked out website, mail, email. We checked out all this. So I'm just going more in detail. And here I say, at the time of the implementation of its website, Pretty Paws Foundation Inc. for religious, educational, and/or charitable purposes will solicit and accept donations from the general public, corporations, and organizations to further its mission. Remember then, they don't have to go, well, what was the mission? IRS can look right here. There's their mission. Let's make this a little bigger so you can see it better. And then I put in bold, Pretty Paws Foundation Inc. will be solely responsible for all fundraising efforts and will not contract out these services to other organizations, but will accept in-kind services to help facilitate this activity. Now, I always put that in there because as a new nonprofit, it is going to be very difficult for you to contract out fundraising services that cost money that I doubt you would have when you first start. It'd be great if you do. If you do, hallelujah. But in my experience, that's not been the case. So that's why I put that in there. But, see, but will accept in-kind services to help facilitate this activity. So I'm letting the IRS know that no, I'm not going to contract fundraising services out. Nobody's going to fundraise for us, and we are going to pay them to do that. We can't. But hey, if that same organization wants to fundraise for us as an in-kind service, if they want to, like, okay, we're going to do that for free for you because we love your foundation and your mission so much, we're going to do that for free. Then I let the IRS know we will accept their in-kind service to help facilitate this activity, but we're not going to pay anyone. Mail solicitations. You'll see I'm repeating the information, but repeat. Please repeat. If you've ever been in court, I hope you haven't, but if you have, I mean, if you've served as a juror, as I've served on many cases, well, more than I I think I should have. But if you have, you definitely will notice that, legal documentation tends to repeat, 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 although it's telling you the same thing. It's just better to do that, I think. I'm not an attorney, but that's just my thoughts. So I repeat. Pretty Paws Foundation Inc., for religious, educational, and/or charitable purposes, will solicit donations from the general public, corporations, and organizations. Now we're talking about mail, so this says in letter format via the United States Postal Service to further its mission. Okay, and then of course in bold, it's the same thing. Email solicitations, it's repeating the same thing. Hey, Pretty Paws Foundation, so on and so forth, will solicit donations again from the general public, corporations, and organizations, but this time it says via email with permission, because you can't email people if they don't say, hey, you can email me, you know that. So, with permission from past, present, and future donors to further its mission. And you go down, see, here we are. It's on the second page. Make sure it's there. I repeat the question on the second page. Again, maybe overkill, but I'd rather give the IRS more information than what they need. I'd rather them look at it and go, oh, well, that was nice, but I don't need that. At least they don't have to send you a letter and say, hey, you talked to me about personal solicitations. You clicked that, you checked that off, but what does that mean? Can you give me some more information on that? You don't have to wait on that letter and hold up your approval. But as you can see, same thing. All of that is repeated, right? We'll solicit donations from the general public, so on and so forth, via personal solicitations with permission through various outreach strategies to include conventions, television interviews, conferences, radio programs, trade shows, expos, visits to offices, presentations, and personal contact to further its mission. Now, the reason I put this in here, you may think, well, what am I going to do? Why would I do this? Why would I go on a radio program? Well, when we had our nonprofit, well, we still do, but when we don't work with it anymore, but when I was working with the nonprofit that we started, I started with my friends. We did many radio programs. And we talked about our nonprofit, our mission, and we asked for donations. We solicited donations. We did television interviews, conferences, definitely presentations. These are things that we did. And we actually asked for, donations during that time. So that's why I put that in here in detail, as we did. Phone solicitations. Again, Pretty Paws Foundation will solicit donations. Again, from the general public, so on and so forth, via phone. But check this out. As outlined by the Federal Communications Commission in the Telephone Consumer Protection Act and the National Do Not Call Registry, from past, present, and future donors to further its mission. You're letting the IRS know that you're going to solicit. You're going to use that phone. You're going to pick it up to past people that have donated, present ones, and any future potential donors. But you're letting the IRS know we're going to do that, but we're going to do so within the rules and regulations of the Federal Communications Commission. You're referencing in the Telephone Consumer Protection Act and the National Do Not Call Registry. You're not going to solicit via phone without following these guidelines. Now look it up, just Google it, and you'll get the information you need to make sure you are soliciting within those guidelines, trying to raise funds for your nonprofit. Receive donations from another organization's website. All right, hey, you will accept donations from another organization's website, provided their services are in direct correlation with the mission and goals of the organization to further its mission. You may have someone who has a website, but they want to do, add a donate tab there for your specific cause. And you're letting the IRS know that you will accept the donations from someone else's website. But as long as it's there, their services are in direct correlation with your mission and goals. Like you would want to do that. The same as a grant funder, a philanthropist, someone they're interested in what you have to offer the world. So they want your mission to align with theirs or your moral standards to align with their moral standards, as a philanthropist or so on and so forth. Foundation grant solicitations. Again, hey, for religious, educational, and/or charitable purposes, Pretty Paws Foundation, look, will solicit and/or write foundation grants to procure funds from corporations and organizations to further its mission. Now, foundation grant solicitations, that would be like Walmart, the Walmart Foundation. Anyone who has a foundation where your mission aligns up with theirs and they want to help you, you know, help further your mission. And that's what that is. I'm sure again, on every page, on every page. Now, government grant solicitations. That would be local or state government. Those are grants that you're going to be applying for. It is telling the IRS that you will solicit and/or write government grants to procure funds from corporations and organizations to further its mission. That would be the mission of Pretty Paws Foundation. And this is where I mentioned, and I put a little more description in the Form 1023 application itself. When I clicked on Other, and I said that I would go into more detail and to see the uploaded document. See vehicle, boat, plane, or similar donations. I don't know anyone around that if someone were to give you a vehicle and it was going to help you further your mission, then you can now have more, people on the, you know, street, I guess, riding around trying to help with your mission. You would certainly want to let the IRS know, hey, I will accept that. If it's a boat, if it's a plane or similar donations, I will accept it if it's going to help. This plane is going to help me get to where I need to be in another state to raise help awareness for whatever your mission is. You know, I would let the IRS know that I will definitely accept that. Now, Pretty Paws Foundation Inc. Again, this I want to just kind of read this one here. Pretty Paws Foundation Inc. for religious, educational, and/or charitable purposes will not solicit. Now you're not going to go around asking, "Hey, you got a boat or a plane that you could give me?" So you will not solicit it, but you will accept donations from the general public, corporations, and organizations of vehicles, boats, planes, or similar donations for the purpose of furthering the organization's mission and increasing its assets. And again, this in bold, it says the same thing throughout. Now, always, always, always check with a CPA if you have any questions about any of this. But from my experience, I have used this form that my team and I put together with the nonprofit that we started. And of course, I've tweaked it along the way, but I have yet to run into an issue with this with the IRS. But if you do have questions about, accepting this type of donation, certainly check with your CPA. So that will conclude part 4, question number 16. And I hope you've enjoyed that one. There's a lot of stuff there. But I will see you in the next video. And thank you so much for watching. And do not forget to subscribe and like and comment.